a touch of crack. Come, let's dance to the reggae rock.
So right now, I'm going to be doing a review on the H&S Mini Maxx tuner. Right off the bat, I'm just going to say it's totally worth the 500 to 800 bucks. I got this one on sale. I forget the specific website, but it was shipped from Canada. So if you find a site and it says shipping from Canada, that's the site. It's legit. It'll take a little while to get here. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. It didn't really take that long. I would say maybe about 2 weeks. Took about a week to get like a shipping tracking number, and then after that it got to my house in about like 4 days. Like I said, about 2 weeks. Whole process from purchasing to receiving it, about 2 weeks. I heard other people that bought from that specific site. Again, I forget which site. I'll bring it up later. Took them maybe months, they were saying, to get their stuff. I don't know why. Maybe there was a shortage at that time of SD cards or something, so they couldn't ship them out. But I got mine 2 weeks. It was great, perfect. It came with a few other things besides all the components to hook it up, which is the like the SD card, I guess, reader or receiver, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty much just like a little like a flash drive, pretty much like a flash drive type connection, and that's where you would take the SD card out of the system that's in your actual truck, and you can go and put it in that there's a specific word, I'm trying to find it, but put it in a thing for the SD card that's like a flash drive, and then you can plug it into your computer and download other tunes that you got from a custom tuner, or that I guess H&S has on their special website, tuning website. I haven't gotten into that at all really, but just going into, I guess, setting it up. Setup was really easy. It does recommend that you have at least a 10 amp constant battery charger, charging the battery as you do all the downloads and everything, because you're going to be turning the truck on and off, and it's going to be running, you know, your what do they call it, your PCM or whatever. It's going to be running your fuel system, and everything's going to be turning on and off. So you definitely need it plugged in, so nothing goes wrong. And it's recommended on the directions, and you can find the directions on their website. But just like a simple rundown of the directions are: plug everything in, follow the steps, and make sure you get everything correct to your truck as far as, you know, make, model, year, and transmission. I specifically have a 2007 6.7 6-speed Cummins. That's the G56 trans. So yeah, put everything in there, and it's going to ask you for a low SOF. It's going to ask you, are you deleted, or do you have all your, you know, let's say your EGR, DPF, stuff like that on. If you do choose deleted, that would be the higher horsepower tunes. For this truck, the 2007 6.7, I think up to 2009 or 10, whatever the specific third gen model of the 6.7. I think the max horsepower with the high sulfur tune, I think adds 125 horsepower. I think it's either 125 or 175. I think it's 175. So that's 525 horsepower this truck technically has when I put it on performance. So yeah, when you're doing the tuning, and you can always retune the vehicle. It's not a permanent tune or anything. So if you do have emissions on your truck and you tune it to the low sulfur tune just to make sure your truck is all good. Once you do go and delete everything, if you choose to, then you can go ahead and put a high sulfur tune on it and be fine. But if you do have you know, a DEF and DPF on there and you want to run the high sulfur just for the horsepower, go ahead, you know, have fun. That's really what this thing was about. For me, was just a little more fun when I'm driving around not hauling anything. And then really, that was like 25% of the reason. And then 75% was for hauling. And I'm, like I said, I'm 100% satisfied with the product. For $500, you can't really add the amount of horsepower it's adding to any vehicle for $500. So H&S Mini Maxx Tuner, I give it an A+. I do have to say, if you do have more money and you're looking to, you know, keep track of EGTs, trans temps, oil temps, you know, and boost, and, you know, and whatever else you might want, go ahead and go get a different tuner that has a bigger monitor, so you can see all those things nicely, because it's a really small screen. All I really wanted was boost. I'm not too worried about anything because I don't haul very far. At most, rarely I haul an hour away from where I'm living for work. So all I really wanted to see was my boost, my temps, keep track of some other things, you know, that, you know, digitally that I can't really keep track of with the dash. So yeah, go ahead and give you guys a little view of everything. There's a lot of videos already showing you the, you know, the power levels and everything. I'm not really going to show that, but I'm just going to show the hookup, how I have it, and then the specifics of that. And then as far as going back to when you're, you know, putting everything in and you're downloading your tune, have the little power box system that connects everything from the main unit up on the dash to your OBD port, and then like the little power source, which comes from the fuse box right in front of the driver's side dash. And that's for my 6.7. But this tuner came pre-tuned. Not pre-tuned, but it came pre-tuned for Ford, Chevy, and Ram Cummins. Came pre-tuned for all three, I think, years between 03 and 9 for, like I said, Chevy, Ram, and Ford. Some of the Ford ones have some pretty spicy tunes. I think some 200 ones, some 200 horsepowers in performance. So if you have one of those Fords, go ahead and get this, because you'll be lighting some tire. You'll be lighting some tire. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys pretty much how I hooked it up. Sorry, I got sidetracked with what I was just saying. But make sure that little box is set to the OBD port as far as where it's receiving power from. Because when you're doing this, you're going to be turning the truck on and off. And if you have it from the keyed source up, the keyed source of power that's up in the, what did I say, the fuse box, it's coming from the whatever 20 amp fuse, it's going to shut the whole system off. It's going to have no power. So have it on the OBD port. Once you have everything downloaded, then switch it to the fuse box as the source of power. So yeah, sitting here, you can kind of see that it looks pretty good sized right now on the screen, but in real life, it's small. All you can really see is there's just one little box here, whatever you want it to be, your tachometer, boost, I think they have fuel pressures or fuel flow, whatever you may want to be. It really just has one little spot for a gauge. So like I said, I just wanted boost, and it's perfect. It shows me my boost, That's all I really wanted, like I said. Not really too worried about anything else. And this would be for all your options. It's just pretty much like, it's like a touch screen, but it's not a screen. It's just, you just lightly touch the plastic. It's not a button or anything. When I got it, I was like trying to push on it for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking, but don't do that. Don't push on it. You barely have to touch it when you get it installed, and it works perfectly. This thing has stayed on fine. I do not drive on any rough roads, but I actually tried to take it off and it wouldn't come off. So whoever said it was, a POS or wasn't working, you probably had a dirty window. I made sure to clean my window nicely with a little bit of alcohol. Then I stuck it on, and like I said, couldn't get it off. And I'm about 200 pounds, 6 feet tall. That's what it had behind it. So it stays on there good. Maybe it'll come off someday, but not anytime soon. But here's how I ran the wire. Really easy, really quick. This is the HDMI cord that it comes with. I just ran it right behind here. Right behind this plastic, and kind of behind these, behind this, and then up behind here. So I can get this part. It's only a short cord, so you kind of have to adjust it perfectly so you can put this in and it's not stretched or straining or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get a shot of the little box. There it is, if you can see it. That's the little box. It's not the prettiest, but I don't care because this is a work truck, so it works as long as it works. As long as it works, we're working. But yeah, now you can see that very small wire right behind the clutch pedal, pretty much directly underneath the clutch pedal and mechanism. That's the power wire that goes to the battery. I guess not battery, but goes to this puppy. And the fuse is right in here. About this part, this is, I think, the only trouble I had really was getting this fuse connector on. The way it was, it had the connector pointing straight up like this. So I couldn't close this lid down. So I ended up just kind of bending it out this way, very gently and slowly. Took me a couple minutes to just slowly bend it with a couple pieces of, a couple needle nose pliers. And so now it goes this way, so the wire plugs in like this, and it just kind of runs around and comes up. Goes right through there, and I kind of got it tucked back here, so nothing can kind of get to it if I ever take my truck into a mechanic or something. It's not in their way if they have to change, I don't know, whatever it may be. My brake booster's leaking, so that's probably what it will be. So yeah, that's the little setup I have. Super awesome. Like I said, 5-star in my opinion. 5-star for 500 bucks. And then you're at 500 horsepower, so what could be better?
The music sounds so